Hey guys, welcome back to another one of my Tower of Fantasy videos. Today we're going to be going over this new weapon that I so happen to luckily pull. So I was like, hey, why not do a video? I was thinking about doing a reaction to the video, and then I pulled the weapon. I was like, well, how about not? So I'm gonna take this weapon, I'm gonna translate it to English. It's going to be on front of the video, and what I'll also do is I'll edit it, make a thumbnail like I usually do, because I for my Tower Fantasy videos I started liking making thumbnails for the video, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue doing what I've been doing. I think they look very nice, but what I'm gonna be going over is what type of weapon type this weapon is, what category it falls in, such as medic, brute, or shield, and all that good interesting stuff that you'll want to know, and how to play the weapon and how I use it. And I just got a notification. Alright, so for this weapon is of a ice type, meaning it uses ice instead of fire, lightning, and physical, because those are the four different types of I call elements that you can use, or attributes, or however you want to name it. It is of also the brute force type. So brute force will be, you know, what you use to increase your overall DPS. I'm not sure what the shield does, and what the shield, brute, and medic does, but I'll check those things out. I'll translate that. I'll actually translate this for you guys right now, so I can actually see what this is. Actually, let's see. Give me a quick second. Pulling up the translator, taking a picture, translating it. Oh, okay, so you have balance, firm. The middle one didn't translate, which is the one I'm trying to get to. I'm going to just call it brute force type. Equipment 2 outputs the above output weapons activated, and the final damage increased by 10%, and finally injure in team play an increase of 40%. So in team play, I think you get a 40% damage bonus, and for the final damage on alts and things like that, you get a 10% increase of damage. Interesting. Now that translation might be completely wrong, but basically it's increasing your damage like I assumed it would. So it is a brute force type. It is also of the ice type. I have it at level 88 because I didn't think I was gonna get the weapon. I'm also, yeah, that's what I'll make the thumbnail. I got the weapon in how many pulls? Okay, 30 pulls. I got it in like 30 pulls. So this is how you play the weapon. So first you got the regular auto attacks. Final attack goes into a little delay right there. As you can see, that's like the final damage. You have the whole auto. You can do it right off the bat. It does 1, 2, and then goes up. Or you can delay it a little bit. And it does like a 1, 2 also. So 1, 2. And you can pretty much do it from any time within the attacks. See? Let's see if I can do it before that final. And before the final attack, you can't do it. When you go into the air and you hold it, it's like a downward spinning slash. So it's not like a slam like how you got with this weapon or this weapon. It spins straight down, lands, and after that you can go into a combo immediately. So for the air autos, when you get put into the air, red is by this, that launches you into the air, the auto that launches you to the air, or if you just jump and start autoing. So these are the auto attacks. So it does a couple slices, 1, 2, 3, 4, about, or 5, and you can keep chaining that, and it just does those. Now from the air, you can press your alt, but your alt in the air and on the ground will do the same thing. So doom, and then your alt, and it does that in the air, and then this will land on the ground. Now this is really cool because this can do the same thing as another weapon in this game, which I have never went over this weapon. Or did I cover this before? No, I didn't. I never released the video. I was thinking about doing it, but there's another weapon that has this ability to do this. the hammer, and it's of the frost type, but it's of the shield type too. With this weapon, when you press down the hammer right here, just to show you a little bit, you press this right here, you know, you get this little mode, and then you press this right here, and you do this. My bad, I'm messing it up. It's a little bit laggy, I don't know why. And you're able to do that. Press this again, it resets, and what it does is allow you to do multiple charge attacks that does a lot of damage and resets your stamina all the way back to full. And I think what makes that weapon so OP is you get the stamina transfer, I think, for other weapons too, but I'm not sure. I will have to try it out again another time. But this video is not over that weapon, it's over this weapon. So specifically for this weapon that I have been using for a while, when you press the alt, this is on the ground, you can charge attack. Now it restores your stamina, and you can't restore stamina on other weapons charge attack. So if I switch over to this right here, it doesn't restore the stamina, but if I go ahead and switch back to this, I can continue doing those charge attacks, even after 1 bar stamina, and they'll completely replenish it. Now the cool thing about this is that alt right there, it lasts all the way until 5 seconds left. So during that 5 seconds, you can even switch to other weapons, come back to that weapon, get those charge attacks in. And what it does when you do that charge attack, because you can do it, you know, outside of alt too, what it does is it does a nice far AoE that slashes enemies in the area 3 times, so it gives you 3 damage numbers. Usually it's like 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, or 9,000 at different values usually, or around those numbers. And it slashes the enemy 3 times, and for smaller enemies it will cause something called freeze, frostbite, wherever you want to do it. It'll freeze the opponent though, and when it freezes the opponent, it what it does is it keeps them still. Basically, they're not able to do any moves for a couple seconds. And also, if I remember correctly, I don't know if this is true or 100% confirmed, but when I use the alt, it allows me to stun enemies. Now, I don't know if this works on bosses, but on lower enemies, it stuns them if they're outside of shield, I think. Or can they still stun them inside of shield? I don't remember, because I haven't played today and I haven't played yesterday that much to really pay attention, because I was tired. But I'm gonna go ahead and try it out. I'm gonna show you guys how I use the weapon. I think it's a really good weapon. I don't think it does a ton of damage, but I think it does a decent amount of damage. And when you use this alt and abuse its, I want to say, power, it's really good. So what we're gonna do is hop into the same place that we always try it out in, the Begone Phantom, or what I would like to call a spiral of bits. And what we'll do is, let me change this really quick. Let me get off of this. This weapon's really good. Okay, really good. In PvV, when it was first out, that's the weapon I also used to use, because it used to catch people so off guard. It used to launch them, and I still do need to do a video over player versus player. But maybe I'll wait until global, because the player versus player, I'm not going to put my opinion. I'm going to do it over for this service. Yeah. Y'all guys, that'd be another video, and you guys can check it out. So, this is what I usually do with this weapon. Do 1 battle. Yep. There's no damage increases. There's a level 80 some weapon. It's not level 90 yet. So, what I do is come right here to this weapon. Do my alt. Come over to this weapon. Do my alts. Maybe put a gadget out there. And what I do is I'll charge attack. Charge attack. Charge attack. As you see, it's hitting them about 3 times. And then it didn't stun them, so it's outside the shield. Alright. Charge attack. Charge attack. It broke this one person's shield while doing the alt. And what I do is, when these gauges at the bottom get full, like when I can proc that right there, I'll do that, come back, do this right here, which is a swish alt. I call those swish alts. So when I press the swish alt, it's like a forward dash that does a little bit of AoE frost damage, and then what it does is a giant slash in that area. It's not a 360 AoE, it's more of like fort work, and it does that little slash, and it also gets another AoE of frost that does pretty good damage numbers, actually decent damage numbers for its level. It hits like between 26 and 33 for both of them. So you add those two damage numbers together. It has limited range, but I think that's a really good switch. So yeah, that's how I play the weapon. That's how I use it. What I do is use all my other weapons, use their ults and things like that. Sometimes if I want to mix it in with the charge attack of this other weapon, because this weapon does a lot of damage. Or while I'm using the ult of this weapon right here, while I'm using the ult of that weapon, I'll switch into this one when that blue gauge gets filled. Switch it in for that tons of AoE damage that I get with the lighten and the stuns that it sometimes inflict. Well, I shouldn't say stun, paralyzes the opponent sometimes. And then what it does, it'll fill it up. I get a couple charge attacks in, press my Q right here for my weapon, get the switch in and do a ton of damage, and then I'll repeat, rinse and repeat. And then I'll just start charge attacking again, charge attack again. And what's really good about this is you can charge it just by doing the charge attacks, but since you're dashing a lot, you'll probably end up getting a moment where you do a perfect dodge, which you'll go into this space zone. When you go into this space zone, it charges your gauge right here at the bottom, this blue. I know you can't see, but this right here, it charges this by a whole entire bar, which is really good. Depending if it's already full. If it's already full, then that dodge does not charge it that much, because you're already at a bar and it can only hold a bar and like 90%. So if you're already at a bar, it's not going to be able to give you another bar, if that makes sense. So if I rotate the weapons really good, based off of how I play, if I rotate the weapons really good, I get a ton of ults in, a ton of damage, a little bit of AoE damage. So what I have right here is really single target damage, really good for a boss fight. It allows me to potentially dodge a lot of boss attacks, and not all the mechanics, of course, but it allows me to dodge a lot of things and get away with a lot of things that I couldn't before. But it's single target damage for the most part. And if I rotate it really good, it allows me to basically get those infinity dodges and decent damage numbers consecutively instead of the dual pistols that I was using. Dual pistols good. I think they have overall higher damage in bigger groups, but I think this weapon is good because it covers some of the things that I can't do. So I get a perfect dodge right here. So what I can do right here, press this Q, and then what I can do right here, do this right here. Now I can start charge attacking. And I didn't get a dodge right there. You are going to get caught because you're not dashing, but you can tap it really quick. As you saw, I dodged that. So if I learn how to do this, because it'll still give me the 3 damage numbers, if I can dodge really quickly. Oops, I'm messing up now. See? And then I get that prop. And then it allows the blue thing right here to, you know, go up and glow. But I didn't get a whole bar because of the fact that it was already being filled up and it was past that 1 bar. So if I press that really fast at the right moments, because there's key times that you get it. Because right here, this is a regular person if they start using this weapon. The dash, charge attack, dash, charge attack, which is decent, but she'll get more damage like this. And it's faster, and you'll get the dodge a lot more often instead of doing this. Because what you can do is attack, cancel, attack, cancel, attack, cancel, attack, cancel, attack, cancel. And yeah, that's how I feel. Me personally, if I had to make a tier list and I had to rank this weapon, I consider this weapon in the right hands, and if the person really good at canceling that, like I just showed, if they're really good at that and they have a really good rotation, I consider this weapon pretty busted. In the right hands, I consider it S tier. In an average player hands, or if they don't have a good rotation, I consider it like you know, A tier. high A tier though. I still think the lighting weapon that I have is way better than it. But if you do it right, it's a really good weapon. Allows you to get a lot of dodges in. Single target damage. Even it even gives you AoE damage on the charge, which is good for dealing with groups of enemies. And smaller enemies, it can freeze them. So I think it's a really good weapon. Some weapons that I don't think it has good synergy with, but I haven't tested it out, of course. Probably test it out in the future. Is medic weapons, because you're supposed to be focused on healing the team mostly. But it can be really good when you have that alt and dash. But the problem with that is it doesn't give you the dash recharges when you're using other weapons. So if you're on that weapon trying to get those dash recharges, you're losing the healing you're supposed to be doing for your team. Especially if it's a hard boss fight and your team is losing health fast. Or if it's a raid and there's 7 other people you need to heal. So that's where I don't think it works in. I think it's good with a lot of brute weapons. Some shield weapons is not good with. If you can find the right rotation like how I have here, it's good. So that's the end of this video. I really hope that you guys enjoy it. I'm sorry that it was probably so in depth, but I just really wanted to go in depth about this weapon. I really like this weapon. I think it's a really cool weapon. I rated S tier in the right hand. For an average player or average filtration, I'll consider it A tier. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.